Local record. What's up? All right. Well, we are live on a wonderful Wednesday afternoon after Christmas. So hopefully everybody had a good holiday, a good Sunday, and the Cowboys won. So that's all that matters. And I think, at least here in the Dallas area. So yeah, I know the Eagles didn't have their starting quarterback, but it doesn't matter because we're gonna take the win anyways. But didn't really matter. We were already in the playoffs, so this was just a good win. All right, well, let's see here. So, Krissy, how was your weekend?
It was good. It was crazy, but it was good. I think anyone with kids can relate to that. It was a psycho weekend, but really good. It was fun to be with the family. So,
yeah. Well, that's good. So let's see here. Do we have some submissions in the group?
I don't believe so. I'll double check and see if anybody did any last minute submissions right now, but I don't think we had anybody in the group.
Okay, I know some people were asking about it, so I was just curious.
I'm hopping over to the Facebook group right now.
Yes. Let's see, Malcolm. Okay. Absolutely love you and Travis, but I say Krissy's my absolute favorite. Congratulations on putting together such a powerful team. Well, thank you, Malcolm. Although I don't know. I mean, you can't be playing favorites around here now, can you?
Appreciate it. Nice.
Okay. So let's see. I know her name. It's slipping my mind right now. Did you submit it in the group? Do you have it in the group? Let's see. No
submissions in the group.
Yep, in the Facebook group. So in the Facebook group, if you're in our Facebook group, if you're not, you look up Passive Prospecting on Facebook, and you should be able to find the Passive Prospecting Facebook group. That's where we ask that you submit your channels in there as well. So we verify that you're in the group and part of the team there that we're helping out there. So let me see. So yeah, living in North Atlanta, Georgia, submit in the Facebook group. Tiffany, that's right. I was about to. Yeah. I was going to say Tiffany, but I didn't want to guess because and that's the thing. Everyone comes in with their life or living in channel, and it's like, I know, I've seen that somewhere. So, okay, all right. Krissy's getting all the love today. Let's see. All right.
That's so nice. You guys are making my day.
Did you send them Christmas presents?
Well, under the table money,
Yeah.
Little Christmas cheer.
Some bribes. All right. Stephen Flux. He's very, very cryptic. No vowels in the name, right? I love that. So wonderful Christmas. Good to hear from you as well. And let's see. Let's before we jump into some channel reviews, let's look at this. All right. So yeah, we several of you already out there. So thank you for joining us. We'll, of course, this is Passive Prospecting for Real Estate Agents. Please go ahead and give us a thumbs up and hit us with questions in the chat. That's what we're here for you today. We got some exciting things coming, especially for our course clients next week. We're going to be running through a couple of more tests this week, but I believe by Monday next week, we'll be releasing that. So it's going to be super cool to do there. Let me see. Biggest question is if I can actually use channel name that's already been used. Someone said to do that in the Facebook group, but that doesn't seem right. Yeah, well, I get it. So the thing is that channel names are not exclusive on YouTube. Now that they've created handles are exclusive on YouTube. So you might want to try a couple of different variations for handles, because ideally, if you can get a handle without any numbers behind it, that's probably the first choice. So that might lead to you looking for a different name, because if there was like a living in before you, then they were likely defaulted to having that handle. So you might want to try a couple of different variations, but otherwise, no, nothing wrong with it at all. Now, the thing is that this is where the catch-22 comes into play, because you may search a certain name in your area and see that it has higher search volume than something else. And then you realize, okay, there's a channel that already has that name on there. So if that's the case, then you have the choice. If you want to do something else because you don't want the same name of that channel, but it has less search results, then just realize that, less search results on that end. Now, the other thing is that you do end up choosing the same name as that main channel, then I believe you definitely are going to have to outwork them. So that's one thing you're going to have to do, because otherwise you don't. They've already got a head start likely, but you want to look at what are they publishing, how much are they publishing, and content they're doing. How can you do it better? Can you publish more, outwork them if you end up choosing the same name? Now, to the other end of that, if you find a unique name or you think, oh, this is high in search results, nobody else has this is awesome, does not stop anybody from coming in and copying your exact name as well. So that's where the catch-22 comes into play. Yeah, maybe it doesn't seem right to copy a direct name of somebody else. I wouldn't look at it that. I would look at it as finding the terms that have the highest search volume. But at the same time, I do appreciate and understand people wanting to be unique and have a little bit different, offering something different or a different name. Now, if search volume is 1,000, 2,000, maybe even 10,000, is it that big of a deal? I think in the beginning, I thought it was probably a lot, but over the last year studying, researching, experience, it leads me to believe that the channel name really probably has less relevance at the beginning, just because you don't have an extensive library built up. So the thing is that when you search, plus I also realized that it took almost a year for us to be recommended as a channel when people search living in Dallas, Texas. If you search living in Dallas, Texas for the first time, likely our channel will pop up as a preferred channel. Now, like I said, I think that took about a year before I saw that happening on a consistent basis. So what's funny is, like, I'll be at conferences or speaking events or anything like that. And of course, the channel is going to come up and people are just going to say, hey, what's your channel? And so I always just say, this is a great experiment. Pull out your phone and let's search it. And so I have people just pull out their phone, search living in Dallas, Texas, and 9.9 times out of 10, I think it's only happened once maybe, but our channel will pop up right at the top as a channel. And to me, that's very powerful. Maybe sometimes it'll be a spot below if somebody runs an ad, because people can run ads and sometimes those will get placed at the top. But otherwise, the channel will actually be at the top. And then it'll have the videos, usually 3 to 5 of our videos right underneath that, with maybe somebody else's video sprinkled in here or there. But otherwise, we pretty much dominate the living in Dallas, Texas search term. But again, I think that really took us almost a year to do that. If you search living in Dallas before, our channel never really popped up. Our individual videos popped up. And so that's what kind of gave me the understanding that, well, I think you can build up to that. So I do think name matters in the long game, maybe not so much in the short game. So again, it's one of those things where if the search volume is a little bit lower because you're basing it off the way that you want to do it something a little different, or not directly name it the same as somebody else has it, then just realize that I think that does give you an opportunity. Of course, if you get a head start, it doesn't stop somebody from 3 or 4 months down the road copying that name. But if you can build up 3 or 4 months worth of content, on the library, on the channel, then I think that's going to matter whenever you get later down the road in your channel growth. And so that's just, that's really a couple of things you want to consider there as far as what that means. And actually, let me I'm going to pop up my Zoom camera over here. So I still got to get in the habit of doing that and switching it to my Reels camera. So I have some good Reels content.
Recording in progress.
Just because that was some good nuggets, I think, right there on channel names right there. So the short of it is, name your channel. Typically, if you're going to name your channel, you want to go based off of search. If somebody else already has that name taken and you want to do something a little bit more unique, you can absolutely do that. But that doesn't stop somebody from coming right behind you and copying the name of your channel. In the end, I don't think the name of the channel matters as heavily as it does in the long run. And so you still need to build up a library. Your individual videos are going to be a lot more searchable than the channel as a whole in the beginning, but that kind of flip-flops down the road. Where we saw it in our channel was about almost a year in, right around 11 months is whenever our channel started to pop up as a preferred channel. So I think the name does matter, but not so much in the beginning. So basically just try to do your best to pick a name that you would like to stick with, and then focus some of your anchor hashtags around the name of that channel would be the summary of that. So let me see. Let's see where we're at. What's up, Stephanie? Stephanie says, hello, everyone. Great day. Again, several of you out there. So if you don't mind, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. Make sure you hit us up with plenty of questions. We'll get to we'll look at a channel here in just a second. Want to hit up some of these questions. Has the new interest rates affected your business anyway? Yeah, absolutely. I think how the current market has affected our business is we've seen less lead count come in, but again, in November, we had 47 leads come into the channel. That was one of our lowest months. But you have to ask yourself too, would you rather have 47 inbound leads come in 1 month, or would you rather have none? And so I think 47 organic inbound leads coming from videos that are posted on YouTube, I will take that every single month. Is it our highest month? No. But I tell you what, 47 people to work with just coming from in November is a big deal, And so we just got a listing this morning, 600K, and had a listing appointment last week for 1.2. They decided, not right now is the right time to sell for them. So they kind of backed out of that. But now we're seeing more listing appointments come in, and we're still getting some good buyers. Actually, we just closed on 3 homes this past weekend, and we had 2 go under contract last week. So slowed down a little bit. Yeah, absolutely. But we still have a lot of good people in the pipeline, and a lot of people right now are kind of hanging on for January, February. So we do expect our January, February volume to really start to pick back up. So again, the main thing is that if you are working on your channel right now, whatever you do not stop. Now is the most important time to continually build out your portfolio of content and keep providing value. We've decided to go the route of positivity over negativity, although I know negativity will get you a lot of views, a lot of clicks. If you add some fire and dragons and homes burning down and underwater on your thumbnails, you're probably going to get some clicks, And so, but I don't know if those are the people we want to work with. We want to work with the people that are looking to buy or sell a home right now. And they're really looking for answers and solutions, not like, hey, the market's crashing. Hang on. I don't know. I would never really tell anybody to time the market, because we just never know. What I always recommend to people is that if you're considering this and you want to talk through some things, then give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email, or schedule a Zoom call, right? All we have to do is talk through your current situation. We're not here to pressure anybody into buying a home, and we still believe it's a great time to buy a home right now as it was 6 months ago and 8 months ago. We know, at least in the Dallas market, homes are still appreciating. Even last month in November, we still had a 12% appreciation, year over year. And so that's starting to slow down a little bit, but the homes are still appreciating. And, are they going to lose a significant amount of value? Probably not. I mean, we're seeing too much growth and opportunity and things happening here in the Dallas area. And so, could we lose some value? Maybe not that much. I doubt it. But are prices still more than they were a year ago? Yeah, they sure are. And are we still seeing appreciation? Yep, we sure are, especially in our northern Dallas areas, where everybody really wants to move to, where the corporations are moving to, where the companies are coming in and bringing thousands of jobs. So there's just a good amount of growth happening in Dallas. Yes, we're fortunate for that. We're in a good market, but we're also, doing the volume. We're producing the content, helping, working with our team, the size of our team, and maintaining that. So lead flow, yes. But again, still getting quality leads in. And the main thing, what we just had our team meeting about this morning, was maximizing conversion, before everyone panics and freaks out and just isn't sure what to do. Well, maximize conversion on what you have, because not just 47 inbound leads. Now, what we're doing is we have diversified as well. Like we have LSA ads going, local service ads. So if people search realtor near me or something like that, or our Google business profile pops up, we've been able to convert some of those, and we're only spending $250 a week right now. We actually have our budget set to $2,500 a week to spend, but for some reason, Google's not liking our profile. I don't know why. We've got 125 reviews on there. Now the thing is we did get hit with three spam reviews. I mean, absolutely ticks me off, right in a row. So they were like 5 minutes after each other. One was like Bubba Fett, from Star Wars, and the other one you could tell was a fake name, and the other one was like John Smith, and so we reached out to Google, and Google was like, oh no, those reviews did not violate the terms of our policies, and therefore we're not going to remove them. So, where we had a five-star rating across the 122 reviews, that dropped us to 4.8. 3 reviews out of 125 dropped us to a 4.8. So, it is what it is, but anybody can go on there. And if they come across those reviews, they're going to see that they're BS reviews, anybody with common sense. So we've got a ton of good reviews and a lot of recent good reviews, but for whatever reason, Google's not promoting our profile up to the budget. So we're only spending about $250 a week compared to our $2,500 a week budget. But still, so we get a couple of leads coming in from that. We've been able to convert them, so that side is already profitable. And we just started working on, a couple of other strategies. So this is something else that if you're, struggling in this market, I mean, this is where you do want to have some diversification. I still believe that YouTube produces the best clients around, but at the same time, paid strategies, you can really focus on your ad budget. And if you can track conversions, then you know exactly what you need to spend. And as long as you remain profitable on that, there's no reason to not include that strategy into your plan. For us, we do want to diversify now because we do have a bigger team, and we've proven the model works with YouTube. We've had a good 2-year run of quite a bit of business. And now we do want to supplement. We do want to throw some gasoline on the fire. We're not running YouTube ads. Don't get me wrong. We're not running ads from our channel. That's still organic. But at the same time, then we're going to just focus on diversification a little bit, which has helped us turn over some additional business. And then as we see more and more listings come up. So yeah, I mean, it's we've seen a little downturn, just a little bit, but otherwise, you have to adjust, right? You've got to figure out different ways to maximize this time. Now, if you don't have a budget or money to spend, then you need to spend more time on content. In my opinion, you want to make more videos. You want to get up to 3 videos a week at a minimum. If you can go to 4, go to 4. And so I would much rather spend my time making videos than cold calling or door knocking. Now, if you need business right now and you're just starting your channel, something else we've always talked about is, open houses. Open houses is a very effective way to typically find people in the market. Right now, they're looking to buy and usually not represented with an agent. You'll be surprised. And so our agents almost didn't believe us. And then we, several of them did some open houses and they're like, I couldn't believe it. And we've brought some new agents on across the country, partners, and had them do the same thing, because we always tell them YouTube's a long-term play, but also, if you follow the process we've put together, usually 90 to 100 days, you should get something under contract. But sometimes people, are unable to wait even, 3 to 4 months, which I get it. Most agents come into the business with less than $5,000 to their name, so they're trying to turn over something very quickly. And if you're struggling right now, that's what I would recommend. Is I would be doing at least 2 or 3 open houses on a Saturday and 2 or 3 open houses on a Sunday. And you'd be surprised. Now there's right ways and wrong ways to do those open houses. So the wrong way is to just go do an open house, put a sign out on the corner, and then go hang out at the house and turn on the game and do something like that. There's very specific ways to market for that. I'm sure you could find books on that. You could find YouTube videos, all kinds of stuff. I would do all of that, put together a game plan. If you need to turn over business in the next 30 days, it's very highly likely you can do that from an open house. And so that would be something I would consider. And then think about, while you're in that open house, here's the good thing about being in that open house. Instead of saying, man, I got to go sit at this open house for the next 2 hours, it's going to suck. You say, well, hey, any down moment I have at this open house, I'm going to make some content. I could either tour this property, getting the sellers or the listing agent's permission if I'm doing an open house for somebody else. I could do a walkthrough video, so that could be a content for the channel, a full walkthrough video, positioned as a listing video or a tour. You could do that. Then you could go into each room and make reels. You could probably make 3 to 5 reels in every single room. You could go into the kitchen and get in front of the stove and be like, hey, when I'm helping a client with a house, here's what we're looking for when we check out the stove. Or you might say, look at this beautiful stove. It's this type of model, only found in usually homes priced at this. And I tell you what, you want to have top of the line appliances, then you want to be in the right neighborhoods. Make sure you're looking in the right areas, and make sure you reach out to me so that you do that. So you think about that. Look at this farmhouse sink. Look at this hammered copper sink. Look at how they have the appliances set up. Look at this butler's pantry. Look at this wine closet. Anything like that. You could probably make 3, 4, 5 reels in that kitchen. So then you have a long form content video because you toured the whole house. Then you could probably end up making 20, 30 short form content videos in that house. Now, if you do the open house correctly, you're probably going to drive a lot of traffic there. So that could also be a catch-22. But you could go 30 minutes before that open house starts if you're advertising it and doing things that will drive more traffic to it, and then film all of that stuff. You could easily do that in 30 minutes. You could walk through the house, do a house tour within 15, 20 minutes if you're somewhat proficient at it. And so, try to do that in one take if you can, or maybe see if you can go an hour earlier and then go and record your reels. And then guess what? If you got a home after that, that's how you think about spacing them. So maybe you can only do 2 open houses. So you're going to have them open for 2 hours, but you're going to go an hour and ahead. So you've got 6 hours blocked out, maybe an hour in between for breakdown setup. And that's how I would structure my Saturday and my Sunday. If I was in a tight position, needed to turn over business sooner rather than later, but also wanted to work on my YouTube channel, but know that that's going to take, 90 to 120 days to generate a deal from that. And I'm just saying that's on average. We've had people that have turned over business. Gotten calls within 6 days, within 8 days. We had somebody the other day that posted in our group, they got a deal under contract in 24 hours from a reach out. Now the channel's a little bit more established, so that's probably less likely to happen at the beginning. But, these are the types of strategies and the things that you can work on as far as, maximizing your time to do what you need to do to generate business right now and to build your channel at the same time. So that would be something. And then think about, how do you maximize, those opportunities? If you're going to go out and show clients homes, say you're out with them for 3 or 4 hours, well, at that last stop, say, okay, thank you, have a good day. If you're not going to make any offers right at that moment, you stay in that neighborhood and you make a vlog, and so you think about different ways to maximize your time and how to do that. And so, if you feel like interest rates are affecting the business right now, or you're looking for ways to do that, I think that's a great way to double up and generate some business and also create content at the same time and get access to properties. And again, just make sure if you're going to film the inside. Now, if you film a reel in front of a stove, probably not a big deal, if you did that, if that's all you're going to do. If you want to be absolute sure and ask for permission, yeah, go for it. But I would feel comfortable if I just did a 30-second reel in front of somebody's stove. That would be very, very hard for them to ever probably find that content or pinpoint it. But if I'm going to film the whole house, like the outside, the inside, those types of things, definitely want to get permission. But, listing agents right now are probably more than happy to let you do open houses on their properties, as listings are typically sitting a little bit longer than they were 8 months ago. So, you're probably going to find a lot more open doors right now as well for people that will allow you to do that. And so it'd be a great way to maximize that. So that was kind of the long answer of has the new interest rates affected your business? So let me see. Living in North Atlanta says, mine will not transfer into YouTube when attempting to build. What did I miss there? Not sure.
Yeah, I saw that message too. I'm not quite sure what you're asking. Maybe ask us again if we missed a comment there.
Maybe they're talking about channel name.
Well, it's not about transferring. You just need to go into your settings and change it. There's a section that's in your branding section and your about section that you'll be able to change that. So you don't have to transfer anything unless you're talking about transferring a channel from a regular channel to a brand channel. But that you shouldn't have any trouble with either. That's just a couple of clicks of a button in the settings section. So maybe re-ask the question if we didn't quite address that.
Yep. So, okay. Let's see. Best practices on time blocking to get through scripts and shoots. Best practices. Let's see. Who's this from? Chris Mosier. Is that how you say it? Chris Mosier says, best practices on time blocking, get through scripts and shoots. Yeah, I think this is something we talked about. Was this last week or the week before, Krissy? I don't think we have it out on the podcast yet, but we talked about planning, for the new year. And that's, I would say that would be the long answer to this question. If you wanted to go listen to that episode when we published that, I'm not sure when that's coming out, but we talked about planning for the new year. That's on the schedule soon, right, Krissy?
Yeah, that will be out on Monday, I believe. Okay.
So I think it just comes down to, I'll give that in a nutshell real quick, which is plan for the macro and work your way down to the micro, which means plan out your conferences and your vacations for the following year. Hopefully that's already been done for 2023. We've already got a baseline of our conferences and vacations on the calendar, but I just had somebody, invite me to a conference today. So I looked at the calendar. There's an opening. I'm like, okay, I'm going to put that one on the conference, or I'm going to put that on the calendar. So, I get all those the macro, those big items on the calendar first, and so those are sporadic. And what we talked about is you should go to at least 2 conferences a year. Likely your brokerage conference would be one, and the second one would be a skills-based conference. So if you're trying to get better at sales or marketing or video or cold calling or copywriting, whatever your skill you want to improve in, I think you need to go to that conference. So once you do that, then you look at your quarterly events. If you're like us, if you have a local team, then you want to, if we've been doing like paintballing and putt and, active events like that we can do at least on a quarterly basis. Then we have our monthly meetings. We do monthly in-person meetings because we typically meet on Zoom every week, but at the same time, we like to round everybody up. So that's the first Friday of every month is our monthly team meeting. And then I look at my week. I have weekly trainings, right? So I'm doing 11 a.m. calls on Mondays. I'm doing 10:30 a.m. calls on Tuesdays. I'm doing this call on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. We just added a new call on Thursdays, talking about blockchain and real estate. That's at 11 a.m. And then I have all of the team meetings, right? So we call them powwows. So I have like my operational powwow, my social content powwow, my this powwow, that powwow. I have executive meetings like with just Travis and Emily, and I have meetings with just Emily and Krissy, and then I have meetings with Emily, Krissy, Mary, Gwyneth, the whole team there, and then I've had scattered. So that happens every week. So you see how we're breaking out a year in advance to a quarter to a month to weekly. So what happens is once I do all of that, and then guess what I'm going to add in there? Content. Content. So just like today, for Friday, I've got Fridays blocked now all day for content, and we've got 3 properties to film on Friday. And so the cool thing is I'm like, all right, good, because now I got Friday blocked. We're going to go out, film those 3 properties. And then also I have Tuesday afternoons so I can work on some content research, because I want to read through some things, watch some things, basically, consume. I need to consume. I think you have to consume and you have to be in your environment. That's how I think you produce better content. You see things that inspire you, things that you like, things that you don't like. And all of that, just adds up. So the thing is that, once you block all that out, you put that on your calendar, whether that's an afternoon or it's a morning or it's an all day thing, or it's every 2 weeks, or if it's once a month. It just depends on how do you want to block out that time for your calendar. But ultimately, as I said, my calendar controls my life. But you know what the thing is that, I don't worry about what I'm doing every day because it's already there. I mean, actually, I'm usually 2 to 3 weeks in advance because what happens is people want to get on my calendar too. So people that want to get on my calendar to discuss, partnerships and opportunities and things like that, guess where they fill in the gaps. So now that I have all of that built out on my calendar, when people go to schedule on my calendar, it's only going to give them certain availabilities. And they plug in there. And so that fills the rest of my gaps. And so that way for me, the meetings, the content, all that stuff is non-negotiable. It has to happen. I have to continually create content, and I have to have meetings with the team so that, right now to me, the game changes daily almost, if not weekly. So, on our content meetings, right, Krissy, it's something new every week. And we could probably even meet twice a week just with the content team. But otherwise, we pretty much almost establish new goals every week about what's working, what's not working, what do we need to change, what do we need to do better, what did we miss, what did we do good, and how do we maximize, people's time, and how are they doing? Or is anybody getting sick of editing my videos yet and want to quit? No, actually our lead guy said, no, can I have more time? I was shocked to hear that one. You want more time listening to me babble on video. So no, yep. So we're going to give them more time because guess what? We've got capacity for that. And that allowed me to shift Alex, our videographer, who actually what I realized over this weekend is I was thinking about it and I was like, we got to get him off of editing. It's too much time. And we need him out filming as much as possible, even when I'm not around. So capturing B-roll and drone shots and, all kinds of stuff. And so we just made that's a pretty big adjustment, I would say. But you know what? The cool thing is everybody's there on the call and everybody's like, yeah, makes sense. And Alex was like, hallelujah. He was like, he loves to fly his drone. He loves to film content. I would say that he least likes to edit, and so now we're getting him in tune with more of his strengths and more of what he wants to do. And then you got someone like John, who's our main editor, who is like, hey man, give me more to edit. I can double what I'm doing. Now I get concerned about that, right? Just based off of burnout and things like that. But I say, hey, if you're asking for it, we've got capacity to do that. I'm willing to give it a try, as long as quality doesn't suffer, and we can still, and if we can get caught up on stuff, even better. We got to move a little bit faster, and we just adjusted our editing styles and things like that, and implementing new things. So that takes time for people to learn. So, ultimately, for me, what's on my schedule gets done, and if you want content to be, play a role in your business, which I believe everybody on here does, then that's what you have to do. It has to become a non-negotiable. You have to put it on the calendar. You have to make it a priority. And the thing is that if Friday's blocked for me and somebody wants to chat, I would never say, well, I'm filming that day, or I got to make videos, even though people know. Even of course, clients know we're in the video. I just say, I have another appointment at that time, does something else work out for you? And, or now, like Emily does a lot of things, schedules things for us. So people will reach out to me, and I'll just be like, email Emily, and Emily will be like, she'll get on email or on the phone with them and say, hey, Levi's got Wednesday or Thursday available, and that's it. She doesn't say, well, he's doing this on Tuesday and he's doing that on Friday and he's going to be over here. She just says, well, he's got time on Wednesday or Thursday. Does one of those days work? Nope. Okay. Well, how about next week? And so, and the thing is that nobody, as far as I know, has ever said, well, Levi, I can't do business with you. Don't want to talk to you anymore. I hate you. You really made me mad because you can't meet on Friday. Now, depending on situation, maybe once or twice, when there's something that is maybe urgent or something has come up, do we make an adjustment? Sure. Why not? It doesn't hurt to be flexible, but also I know where I'm at as well on my stuff. And then that week, just like with Krissy and Emily, if I've got traveling the next week, or conferences, or speaking opportunity, guess what we do? We talk through that. How do we adjust? What are we going to rearrange? Are we going to reschedule? Are we going to cancel? So there's a lot that goes into it, but we're very intentional about everything. But for me, I can look at my calendar right now. I don't want to pull it up because it does have people's names on there. So that's the only reason I don't share it. But, it's pretty much booked out. And guess what? If there is one little tiny gap, the first thing I'm going to do is start working on my punch list. I have my punch list right there ready to go. So if I have little things, phone calls I need to make, or people I need to follow up with, or, sometimes I got to pay a bill online, or, I don't know, deposit a check. Sometimes I get these, random checks in the mail. It's like this happened, or, it's like, I don't know, you get these, I overpaid on a credit card. Because I keep zero balances on my cards, but sometimes, they just, I have automatic payments and things. I don't know. Sometimes they get overpaid and they'll send me a check for like $5, $8. So I get a stack of them. I get like a little stack of them, or things. I sold a car the other day, and, they just sent me a random, I guess they, underpaid me or something, or I had a little bit more equity in it than what was paid to me at the dealership. So then I got another check, and it's just like all that stuff kind of sits around until like in between, like, oh, somebody cancels or there's a small gap. I'm like, okay, I'll actually deposit these checks on my phone now. And, but I have a little punch list. So the punch list is really non-priority type of stuff that you can knock out in between, or if you need to talk to a few people. So follow up on some things. So actually there's an event I'm going to in February speaking at, and I saw they posted the website and everything. I hadn't heard any details, but I saw the website, and then I saw there's a second day, and I was like, well, oh, I thought it was one day. So I had to call and say, hey, just checking in, what day am I needed? Cause I'd already booked flights and everything like that. And they're like, oh no, yeah, we got a second day. Would love for you to be there for the second day. I was like, okay, cool. I can do that. I mean, I was going to leave that morning at like 11, but now I could just push the flight back to, 4 or 5 and do that. So, the thing is just always constant adjustment back and forth. Every single week, we're 2-minute drill or like 2-minute drill every week, just adjusting because right now, I think that's just the way the environment is happening, right now. Now, the cool thing is YouTube's pretty consistent. I think YouTube has a good idea of its identity other than, Instagram and TikToks. They seem to be going back and forth on really trying to figure out who they are. And, and Instagram's trying to catch TikTok now and do away with this and pictures. And now they want to go back to pictures. And now that, they wanted to do, it's just, they keep going back and forth and all this stuff. And I think, like YouTube, okay, they just implemented they implemented shorts last year, but they just did a massive update. Well, it took them a full year, maybe a little bit more. Maybe that was closer to a year and 3 months or so for them to do a massive update. But I think it was a better update, for what they had to offer. So I think they're a lot more strategic and also like to, pretty much know who they are and want to just improve as a platform in general. But yeah, I don't know if that answers your question. The thing is that figure out, how often do you want to record? Is that weekly, bi-weekly, monthly? Just realize if you're doing it monthly, you've got to do a lot. If you're going to do it once a month, you're going to need to block a whole day, maybe 2 days, especially for long form content. Can you knock out short form content in 1 day, once a month? Sure. But if you're going to do long form content, I can do long form content in 2 days, once a month. So, I could do 4 vlogs on 1 day and I could do 4 or 5 office videos the next day. Not that difficult. So you could do it in 2 days and then you need to block those 2 days. So if it's the first Thursday and Friday or the first Friday and Saturday of the month, and it just has to become your non-negotiable. So, figure out what works for you and you go from there. Let's see. How do we see all that comes with passive prospecting package we bought? Just email support at passiveprospecting.com. We can cover that. You should have everything in there. So we usually don't leave anything out. But we're just going to make some big updates on Monday. So that'll be cool. But anybody who's in the program is going to be included in that. So where did you get that cool light in the background, the floor lamp? If you're talking about that one, let me see. If you're talking about that one, it's a light box. Oh,
I think he's talking about the floor light that's like making all the colors.
Oh, that one. Okay. I was about to say it. I do have pants on, so I can get up. No. Oh, so I was just kidding. That one, the floor light. Yeah. So that's just like a corner. Actually, I have one over here too. It's like a corner lamp. So I don't know. Can you see that, Krissy?
Yeah, kind of. You can see it's a giant silver something.
Yeah, that's actually the light. So, anyways, it's like it's like a corner lamp. So it's got like if you could put it directly in the corner. So the bottom piece is kind of like that, and then it just has it's just a lamp that. It's just kind of like a stick lamp. So you can probably see just a little bit that stick, but I have it facing the wall. So that's what kind of blurs it. And then of course it has a remote and you can change all different, you can do colors, different settings, different, all that stuff. But this is just pattern interrupt, what we like to do. So let me see if I can, let's pull up this channel.
I think he was asking where you got it though.
Oh, I'm sure Amazon, you know, where you get everything, right? What was that handle? Life in Dallas, Fort Worth?
Yeah.
For Tiffany?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, let me make sure I've got the right handle. Where was it? Life in Dallas, Fort Worth. Okay, I didn't type out Fort Worth. Let me see. Is that the, should be it. Let me see, YouTube. Should pull up by the handle. Oh, is my internet? Am I still there? Maybe my internet's...
Yeah, I can still hear you.
Okay. Let's see. Maybe it's having... Oh, that pulled up. Maybe I was typing it in correctly. Okay. So let's get to that here in a second. Tiffany, let's see. Let me run through some of these. We got a lot of messages today. Let's see. Where do you get the neighborhood snapshot information from at the bottom of your YouTube description? Put that together. Had one of our operations assistant, Chris. She put that together. You know what I love about Chris? Chris literally said to me whenever I interviewed her, she's like, I love all mundane tasks. I was like, you're hired. Perfect. I've never heard anybody say that in my entire life. I love all mundane tasks. You can give her the most tedious things that would make probably 99.9% of us on here cringe. And yep. She just knocks it out, and she does it record speed. So anyway, she put it together. So it was something like, I found a couple of websites, basically found a couple of websites and had her kind of curate that information, told her, hey, I want like a rundown, a description of, like a summary of the area. And then let's add like schools and, places to eat and things like that. Just something that's clickable on that PDF. So it was really just it's just a value add to our clients. And so that's where we did that. So, all right. So we're going to pause at Steve and let me pull this channel up so we can go. Are we editing for Tiffany?
I don't believe so. No.
Okay. Let me see. So Tiffany, let's take a look at, let me see, I got to share a screen. And here we go. Okay. So what do we got? Banner. I mean, banner, I mean, I say it looks good. You have what you need right in the middle. Again, this is something we've talked about a little bit before. Just yellow on white is not a good color balance or contradiction. That's what I was looking for. Contradiction. It's not a good color contradiction because they're very similar. So I just, maybe, I mean, I can see it on desktop. It's okay. When I'm looking at it here on the live stream, kind of like from a distance, it blends a little bit, this is not terrible, but you could easily, if you like yellow, if that's kind of like your color, your brand, you could add a black outline around it. That would make it pop. So that would be something I would consider. You've got a great picture of yourself and your name. Over here, you have your information. Of course, that won't show up on mobile. It'll show up on desktop. So let's see. So you have this information. Um, again, that won't show up on mobile because I'm assuming mobile is probably going to cut off right here at your name and right over here to this side of it. So, and we don't have anything descriptive above this arrow. So, unless you're just trying to draw attention to let's chat, meet me on Zoom. So, probably better to describe that up here as well, or reposition that arrow. Well, I don't know. The thing is that I guess it probably repositions depending on this, how big the screen is. So just depending on what format it is, but it could probably still be repositioned just a little bit better. But also you might want to put let's chat on Zoom, and you could still have it in there. So maybe just a little bit more description. Otherwise it may seem a little bit out of place to some. But again, I don't. The other thing is, look, a lot of people are just not as detail oriented as as we are, or as we are of our own business, our own branding. And so, when I say things like that, I mean, is anybody really going to get it? No, but it definitely will make you look down. I will say, because you have a picture of a house, again, you've got, this kind of falls right on that lighted yellow background, and because the lettering is white there, it can get a little bit, it could get a little bit lost in there. But again, you've got the red arrow, but it could possibly, but again, it's just I'm just being a little picky. I wouldn't say anything too serious, but otherwise maybe just consider repositioning that. And then this is typically why we do more of a solid background, or maybe add a shadow over the house just to kind of give it a little bit more depth behind it. So yep, pretty good. Let's see, you've got, okay, this was 5 days ago. So you're promoting this one, avoid moving to Texas, unless you can handle this. All right. You got some of that country twang music going on in the background. Oh, freeze frame. Sorry. There you go. Up close and personal. Of course, we like that. We talked about that as well. I mean, great eye contact. A little bit of a darker background, which is good. Lighting on your face is really good. So video formatting. Yep, popped up your channel. So you give them the hook. Got some good B-roll in there. Oh, I was just looking back here. I mean, the your name again. This is kind of like a gold, or I don't know. It's on white. It kind of it does stand out a difference. I might just look at a different coloring on that as well, just more of a contrast with the white. And then it's really right up on the edge of the video too. So you might want to maybe just reposition the lettering a little bit more here in the middle too. Just something to think about. This is what I wanted to get to. I wanted to see how long this intro is. Okay. I think when I like how you added the video title there to kind of start off, but I think the intro is around 10, 11 seconds is what I saw. And again, it's just something that we recommend to probably cut that in half. I like the pictures. I like all the hats on the wall. That was pretty cool. Some of that Texas stuff, maybe the back half of it, you might want to consider trimming off. I don't know. I just think anything over longer than 4 to 6 seconds, you just want to be nice and concise. Although I'm not sure if, the intro, a lot of people say get rid of it. I've tested different things. I don't know. Our intro is always, that little intro music has always been very short. But I've also tested like talking for 3 to 5 minutes first before playing that, sometimes not playing it at all, or playing it right after the hook. So talking for like 20, 30 seconds, then playing it. I looked at all that stuff and I just don't really see a big difference on where that's placed. We still get kind of like that initial drop off at the beginning, where you typically get a lot of people falling off. And maybe that's just people that are clicking on the video, but they're not really interested in the content, which I'm okay with, because I think that tells YouTube that that's not necessarily our audience. So, overall, I think what I see so far, I think look great on camera. Positioning on here, everything, let me see. You've got some GIFs in there, some B-roll. And if you have whoever is editing, might talk to them about maybe cutting just a little bit before. I mean, again, I don't think it's a really that big of a deal, but just things as you improve, it's okay. If you're looking at notes or bullet points, that's perfectly fine. But you do have time to look at that note like off to the side. If I say, let me see. So let me get back in here. So if I'm looking at my notes off to the side, I want to get my next bullet point. It's okay to come back, look at that camera, pause, and then start, so you don't have to look at your note and then think like, okay, I gotta, transition at the same time. And I'm trying to say what I need to say. So you had that split second. Again, this is just me, so not trying to nitpick, but at the same time, this is just things that you notice. I don't think it's a big deal, not going to hurt viewers, or nobody's going to leave your channel, but it's okay to say, okay, look at my bullet point, come back, and then say, okay, the third thing is, as long as you really know how to end your points and begin your points, that's all you need. Everything else can be cut out. And it's actually a lot easier for the editor to cut out those hard starts and stops versus, okay, the next thing I want to talk to you about is, or, okay, so number 3 is, because if you kind of come off, that way and you start talking, or you're looking off to the side and you start talking and then you transition over, it's just, it's just one of those things where I think it's okay to just look back at the camera and then always smile before you start. And then you get going again. So, so otherwise, but I mean, I think great. I think you just started on your channel too, as far as I know. I met Tiffany, actually. We were at the event, an event a few weeks ago, and she came up to me and she's like, "Hey, in the program, love it." I was like, "Awesome. That's what I like to hear." That's my goal, really. That's like one of my sole goals. And Krissy knows this because I talked to the team about this stuff. Is I just want to make sure we go to a lot of events. I don't hide. I'm out there. I'm very public. Of course, I come on these lives, and I go to events. We went to 25 events in 2022, pretty much 2 per month. And you know, we get on stage at half of those. Half of them we're hanging out, learning, meeting people. And so my goal is that everybody that works with us, you know, has a great experience and really finds value. And, you know, there's no greater feeling when somebody comes up at a conference and says, in your program, love it, you know, love your content, you know, thanks for helping out. Thanks for the support, you know, there's no better feeling than that. It's just awesome. And so, you know, I want to be that person in good standing, because I go to these conferences because I want to learn and grow myself. And then also, you know, we're likely going to be on stage at some of them, but I want to be able to see you guys, you know, face to face. And I want you to be happy and satisfied. So that's why we do as much as we do, try to work through this. So overall, I would say, let me see, let me just pull this back up. And I would say, you know, you've got your trailer video on here now. So I'm sure you have your featured video, thumbnail, that looks good. You know, that's fine. Maybe I like a little bit more background. So, you know, not boxing around Prosper or consolidating that boxing. Krissy knows I always talk about dead space. You know, I consider like this white. Let me see if I can zoom in here a little bit more. So that Prosper, I have to click off of here now and then go. So this white spot, you know, this white portion up here is what I call, I went over it, but down here around, I just call that dead space. So that's really that border around Prosper. It does add a nice contrast because it's black on white, but I would consolidate that box just around it if you're going to have that, or even better is when you can have the lettering, you know, just contrast the background. So, oh my goodness, we already had an hour. Okay, so I think that's some good tips on there. Let's see if we can run through some of these questions. I wonder, let me know in the chat, should we add this to our podcast as well? I don't know, you know, just as like a Q&A, and call it, you know, weekly Q&A or something. I don't know. Might be interesting. Let me know in the chat if you think that would be helpful. Let me see. Oh, all right, good. Chris says, yep, got his name correct. Let me see. Where did I leave off? I think Steve Heiss. Did you pop that one up, Krissy? Okay.
Yeah, I think that's where we stopped.
Oh, yeah. Biggest opportunity you see for real estate industry in 2023. Oh, I'm going to say content, number one, but I'm also going to say if you're an investor, this could be a very lucrative time for you. So if you've got the opportunity to acquire properties, I think you can find some good deals out there. Or if you're working with investors, you know, double down on that as well. So the retail market, as you can see, I think on the buy side is going to be a little interesting to say the least. Sell side is a little interesting as well because we see listings sitting a little bit longer. But, you know, the great thing is that for investors, it really comes down to numbers, you know, and if you can find them a good deal, whether you're helping somebody or you're doing it yourself, you know what it is. It doesn't matter. And right now on the buy side, if you're buying, I think you're going to be able to negotiate some deals. But right now, I just think content also is, if you're not in a position for investing right now, or you're not working with investors, I think content is the biggest opportunity because what is it? NAR says the average agent, the demographic of the average agent is like a 55-year-old woman, you know, but woman doesn't really matter. It's the 55-year-old that matters. And think about that. So that to me says that demographic is leaning more towards the older population as real estate agents. Guess who doesn't like to make content? Guess who doesn't like social media? Now, there's a few that have embraced it. Yes, absolutely. But I'm just saying there's a lot in that age range that are just like, you know what, I'm going to stick with my shaking hands, kissing babies, my magazine ads, my mailers, my cupcakes, all that stuff. And which is cool. But I think there's a tremendous opportunity right now to produce content and to be visible and, to find your tribe on there. So, so I think that's the big opportunity. Homes by Crane. Yeah. Thank you so much. Absolutely. You're welcome. Malcolm. All right. Love the questions. What does your typical sales process or cycle look like? I think what you mean is, ours is 47 days. From the first time somebody reaches out to us, we get them under contract within 47 days. That's the average. So, now that was through, a majority of last year. I'll run the numbers as soon as we close out December. I'll run the numbers because we track that too. We track a lot of stuff. And so we, like Chris, our who loves mundane tasks, that's something like I would say, hey, go into the CRM, look at the date somebody, their first reach out. So whether they called us, text us, or emailed us, look at that date and then look for, we have an email, right, and a tag in our CRM when somebody goes under contract. And I would say just make a spreadsheet that for the date that they reached out to us and then the date they went under contract. Because the reason we didn't do closed is because sometimes, a lot of new construction properties are in there that could take 90, 120, 6 months to close. And so that would skew it. And so we want to see how fast can we get somebody under contract. And so that's what she did, tallied well over 100 properties or so. And we had some that were like 1, 2, 3 days, but we had some that were like 150, 200 days. But when we averaged it all out, 47 days was the average. Stephanie says, what is the handle and where do you get one? So let me show you.
And a handle is just a unique identifier. So it's like having your own unique URL on YouTube. And so it's an easy way to send people to your channel and an easy way for people to find you if they're searching for you. It's just it's another SEO, resource for you that will help your channel rank because it can include keywords.
Yep. So you'll see here, if you look at our channel, it's still pretty consistent. We've had a couple of spikes, but you can see views are about the same as usual. Watch time a little bit down, subscribers a little bit down. So, but anyways, I think you go into customization and branding or basic info. Yeah,
basic info.
Yep, basic info. So there's your handle right there. So that's your handle, and that's how you can choose it. Now, the thing is like we said earlier, handles are unique. So if somebody's already taken that one, you can't do that. And of course, you can change your name right here anytime. So just something to check out. You've already been assigned a handle. Excuse me. You've already been assigned a handle because that's defaulted to your name. So check out what it is. What's up, Dave? Dave said, what's the best way to do shorts? Quickly. Krissy's holding back.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know that you were asking me the question.
No, I just said quickly.
Oh, yeah. Well, the quick answer to that is that we have a whole module in the course about that. But the key with shorts is really to keep it short and sweet. And of course you need to do it vertically. And so if you're doing a vertical, we usually like to see it somewhere between 7 and 15 seconds. That's kind of the sweet spot on YouTube. And that kind of, it holds pretty steady on other platforms too. So that's the nice thing about doing YouTube shorts is that it is transferable to other platforms like TikTok and Reels and things like that on Instagram. So, but typically 7 to 15 seconds is what we see to be the most effective. Doing something that makes it difficult for somebody to read the whole thing things sometimes can increase, you know, and make someone have to watch it twice. And the idea is really just to keep it very engaging for a short period of time to make somebody get to the end of your video and possibly watch it a second time. So we have a full module in the course on shorts that goes into way more detail than that. But generally speaking, that's kind of like our baseline for how we create our shorts, just with ideas for content and things like that.
Dave, did you respond to the reviews? We did not respond to the fake reviews. They were literally just 1-star reviews. They didn't even post any words. So they just literally left us 1 star. Bubba Fett, I believe, was one. The other one was clearly a fake name. The other one was like a John Smith, all back. But no, we didn't respond because they're not valid. We didn't want to add any validity to them as well. And then we tried to dispute them with Google, and Google was like, yeah, sorry. Actually, I don't even think they said sorry. They were just like, nope. Malcolm, what's the short-term and long-term goals for our agency? You know, I don't know. I think I don't know. We may pass on that one. I don't know. I disclose a lot of stuff, but that may be a more in-depth conversation. I mean, I'm pretty transparent. So I think, I mean, I know what our goals are. You know, we've got a big change in that coming as well for the agency that we're going to be implementing for the new year. So I'm excited about that. And I would just say we've got big things planned. So, but I don't think I'm ready to disclose that right now. So, but I don't know. I think we're pretty transparent. We talk about a lot of stuff. We pull back the curtains on a lot of things. So,
I think ultimately the short answer for that is to serve more agents in more areas in 2023. So,
yep. And get them producing some results, you know. Probably wise to get it in writing when doing reels. Okay.
He was referring to inside of houses.
Oh, yeah. Okay, good. Thanks for Krissy, always on top of it. Let's see. The banner is what I referenced. Okay.
Yeah, that was probably the comment related to last week when someone was asking where they submit their stuff for review. I think that was the same person.
I love this one. You know, are there specific tips on attracting sellers? Channel seems designed to snag buyers. Listings have always been lifeblood of our business, and we want to keep them as a high priority. Yeah. But I tell you what, I would never turn down a buyer. That's for sure. Especially whenever they're calling in. And the thing is that if you don't want to work with them, then there's a great opportunity to refer that out, give it to a team member, you know, collect 50 to 75% on that deal as well. So in the meantime, especially whenever it turns into a heavy buyer's market, I think buyers can become the lifeblood at that time. So, but yeah, I mean, there are specific strategies. We talk about that in the course as well. So, I mean, I would look at any of our listing videos, and you could probably easily pick that up. So, so that I would look at the listing videos on our channel, and you'll see how we position those. And I'm gonna run through these because we're over, which is a great thing. Oh my goodness, we still got like 20 more questions. Okay, I just lost my spot. Let me find it. Okay. How do I pick Google business profile, business name? Should it be same as YouTube channel name? Yeah, I mean, I think so. That would be ideal. Ours is the same. So if you can, yes, that's where name comes into play and does matter. So I would just keep that in mind. But yes, you got my name right. Thanks. Oh, you're welcome. Where did you get the corner light that is different colors? Did we already cover that one?
Yeah, we did.
Okay. What's up, Vince? How you doing? Where can you recommend to get a sellable phone number to be attached to my YouTube channel? I have Verizon currently. Can I just get another line with them and assign it to the channel if I sell it? Probably so. Yeah, I mean, any number should be portable. You know, if you're going through Verizon, I mean, we use Twilio. Twilio is built in to our CRM system, and that would just transfer over. Somebody could just take that. So there's different ways. I mean, I don't know. Can you transfer ownership of a Google Voice number?
No, that is not sellable.
Okay. So
you can transfer ownership. It's just, it's not technically sellable. So you couldn't list it as an asset of the company.
Yeah. Well, here's the other piece to that is that this is why we talk about putting this information in the description. Because actually we just changed our phone number in all of our 250 videos in the click of a button, you know? And the reason we did that is because we are incorporating some paid strategies right now. And to continue our story about YouTube, we have to be able to separate where do our leads come from. So the thing is that we didn't want to change our phone number. Our phone number on our YouTube channel is connected to our Google business profile. And the last thing that we typically want to do is make changes on Google. Google is very sensitive about changes. So we had this number on our Google business profile on our, it's listed in the Google profile. You have to get approved for LSA ads, anything like that. So that's a number we didn't want to change with Google, because anytime you do something like that, they have a little hissy fit. And next thing you know, you could be suspended out of your account for weeks. So we didn't want to do that. But guess what? It's very easy to change a number in the description of a video. Not if it's embedded in your video. If it's embedded in your video, not so easy. But in the click of a button, I was able to change out the number in every single one of our descriptions. So the thing is the sellable phone number is not even really a big deal with the YouTube channel, because if you transfer ownership of the YouTube channel, all somebody has to do is change out that phone number in all the descriptions. So yep. YouTube hack of the day right there. What's up, Timothy? Timothy says, do you need a team just starting out for editing and things like that? I think so. I mean, I've had Krissy since the beginning. So Krissy was my original editor, and yep. So it's funny is we've worked together for 4 years now. In my previous business and previous business ventures, I had a few interesting ideas before, and every time I'd be like, hey, Krissy, started out as my social media manager. But every time I asked her to, hey, can you do this? She'd be like, yeah, I can do that. Hey, can you do this? Yeah, I can do that. Hey, can you do? Yeah, I can do that. And then when I started this, I was like, hey, can you edit videos? Yeah, I can edit videos. I was like, all right, well, dang. What do you not do? And so she was like, yep. So she started out editing the videos. I just knew that from the beginning. I knew that was something I had zero interest in, wasn't going to be good at, was not a skill I wanted to learn. And I just knew it would take way too much of my time. And so that was just something that I knew I was going to outsource from the beginning. And that allowed me, in my opinion, to be very effective, very consistent, continually focus on producing content versus editing it. So yes, I do believe in that. And you can work with our editing team if you want. And the great thing is by working with our editing team, you really don't have to coach or train them. They know exactly what to do. So yep, I would recommend that. And you don't have a marketing budget. So that's the other thing. I would highly recommend an editing budget, but if you don't have a marketing budget, but you have a little bit of cash, I would use that towards editing all day long. Let's see. What's up, Kevin? Kevin from Loganville, Georgia. I'm just getting on and missed so much. Is this being recorded so that I can play it back later? Of course it's being recorded. We record everything, Kevin. Everything, except for those 1 or 2 times whenever I didn't record something and I lost hours of content. But yeah, it's on the YouTube channel. So go to the Passive Prospecting YouTube channel, click on the live section, and you'll see this usually about 5 minutes after we're done. It's uploaded on there. What is the topic of this group, Sherry? Well,
I think you're thinking of the Facebook group is what she's referring to. That's when that came in.
Oh, okay. Passive prospecting.
It's same thing that we're talking about today.
The topic would be YouTube. It's pretty much all YouTube. What's up, Tamara? How you doing? Tamara, you're amazing. Thank you. When it comes to helping other agents, thank you, Tamara. You're amazing. I had the privilege of being on her podcast. So that was awesome. Thanks for having me. And are you using 2 different cameras at the same time to capture different angles? I am. Yeah. Look at this. Watch. I will, oops. Oh, I'll go to settings. I can actually switch this. And see, now I'm sideways because that's my Reels camera filming in a vertical format at the exact same time right now. Actually, I covered this on last week's. That was last week's, right? Krissy, did I do that? So if you
you showed everybody that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go back to last week's live, and actually, I opened up that way and kind of showed you how I'm recording. So, all right, we got some locals today. Let's see, Dallas Fort Worth real estate vlog. What is the next event in DFW? Or you will be speaking? Oh, in Dallas, we don't have anything planned. What's funny thing is like, nobody. What's the saying, right? Nobody likes you in your own backyard. No, I don't know. We actually don't do a lot here in Dallas, except if we put on an event. We put on an event. I think the last one was December of 2021. So let's see, where am I? I'll be speaking. I haven't confirmed yet. Might be speaking in Hawaii the last week of January in Hawaii. That would be cool. Speaking at Inman in New York. So if anybody's going to Inman, New York, we're speaking there in January. That's actually the second to last week of January, I believe, Inman, New York. And so we're speaking there, possibly in Hawaii. And then the week after that in Tampa, we'll be speaking at an event in Tampa. Actually, I just posted that on my stories on Instagram. So you'll see that there. And we don't have anything scheduled for Dallas. A lot of these times, these things come in last minute, So we're planned out, I think, for 3 events in the first 2 months, which is cool. Absolutely add it. All right. Oh, okay. Add to the podcast. See, I already forget what I asked for. Okay. Yes. Add it. Yes, please. Okay. Yes. Okay. So these could be good to add. Maybe we end up publishing twice a week. Let's see. Not all of us.
Referring to being too old to want to be on social media.
Oh, look at you. You've got the...
I'm connecting the dots here.
Yeah. I forgot what I talked about 5 minutes ago, but yes. Okay. Living in Omaha. Yes. Like I said, and that's where I throw out the disclaimer. Not everybody. I got to check my calendar real quick. Make sure. Okay. I'm good. I'm actually good on time. So we still got quite a few people here. If you're enjoying this, please make sure you like. Let's see. Living in San, 68 years old, completed the program and have videos in editing. I'm on it. There you go. See, never too young, never too old to get started. So there you go. I actually had a call 2 days ago. 77-year-old. He's like 70. He's like, hey man, I'm ready to get going. I was like, all righty, let's go. So let's see. Living in Omaha says, after you attract a client via YouTube and the client moves to Dallas, what does your follow-up program look like to stay top of mind in the future? Yeah, well, number one, I think the YouTube channel is the best drip campaign out there, right? So, as long as you publish content, they're going to continue to watch that. They're going to continue to learn and get to know the Dallas area. We have 2 client appreciation events per year, one in the spring and one in the fall. So that's pretty cool. And then we have follow-up campaigns. We have, we call it the 30, 60, 90, 180, 360. I don't know. It's 30, 60, 90 because that's automated to go out 30, 60, 90 days after they purchase the home, which, shoots them a text message. Looks very realistic because it's like, hey, Bob, man, it's like 90 days. Man, can you believe it's been 3 months already? How's everything going over at the house? At 180, the text message says, hey, Bob, just checking in. Is the house still standing? LOL. Wanted to see how you're doing. And so we have different text messages that go out. What that does is that goes out automatically. Typically, always generates a response, and then that's where the agent can step in and follow up and finish that conversation. So that way, it really takes a lot off the plate of the agent to be worried about, oh, I've got to, put this in my calendar, 30, 60, 90. We already have that type of stuff programmed. And then after 90 days, I think we wait 3 months, for the next one to go out. So basically we're hitting them with text or emails almost every 3 to 4 months after that. And then clearly on a 1-year anniversary. And then also right now we're incorporating a newsletter and with our client appreciation events. And so, and then we also work with the agents too, to make sure the agents reach out, just, make a phone call. So we've got that pretty dialed in, but otherwise I think a YouTube channel is also just really a great way to, the YouTube channel is the best drip campaign, just because if you text somebody twice a week, they're going to get tired of that. If you email them twice a week, they're going to ignore those emails. If you call them twice a week, they're not going to answer your phone call. But you publish 2 videos a week, you've got a good chance of them watching your 2 videos every single week. So that's why I love YouTube as a drip campaign in itself. So hopefully that helps. All right. Stephanie says, awesome. Thanks, Krissy. Thanks. Yep. And what do you do for your client appreciation events? So we have a party. Yeah, we have a party. So it's pretty simple. We, this last one we did at the country club. Our mortgage broker has a membership at the country club. So we have this indoor-outdoor area. We got blow up, bouncy houses and face painting and stuff like that for the kids. So we were like, bring the family, got to meet the family. We did giveaways. We gave away like Bose speakers, TV. We gave away like a 55-inch TV, prizes. So we did drawings and then, just a little chat. It was just, people just want to chat and hang out. So we, had a buffet. We had 2, gave them like 2 drink tickets. We didn't want anybody getting too crazy. So it's just something simple, maybe next time we'll do something a little bit more. I don't know. Maybe go hit up the putt-putt course or something. I don't know. So, let's see. Instead of floor time, you have YouTube text time. There you go. You got it. Awesome. All right. Well, hey, we got to the end there. That was cool. All right. Well, thank you, man. That was a lot of good questions coming in today. So we really appreciate your support. Glad we're able to help y'all out. And, again, find us on the Facebook group, Passive Prospecting. Search that. Go to, you'll find it on our website too, passiveprospecting.com. You can go there. Make sure you sign up to be the first to be notified when we release the book. I'm so excited about the book. I can't tell you how excited I am about that. And we just got to wait on the publisher. So, we've done our job, done our work on that. And it's just logistics now. But there's a lot that goes into that if you want it done right and you want to do it right. So it's okay. We got to be patient because this is going to be a real published book. This isn't, like, not that Amazon self-publishing isn't, because that works. But you can self-publish a book on Amazon now these days, or just make something into a PDF. I mean, anybody can do that these days. But we wanted to do it real old school style, work with the publisher, design it, formatting, proofreading, editing. I mean, it's a lot. We've been working since, I think I'd have to go back and look, but at least since June. It took me 5 to 6 months, which was really, I don't know. I would say that's probably still record time to write a book, but it was just something that I spent, a couple hours a day, usually in the mornings before everything got started. So going back to time blocking and priorities, then, maybe I'll do a whole episode one day on that. We could put that in the queue too. Maybe when the book comes out, we'll do the whole podcast episode on that whole process and everything. Cause it's a lot, but glad we did it. So glad we did it. Yep. And thank you, Tamara, as always, for your support. Signed up and anxiously waiting for the book. Yes, absolutely. But you guys are here every week, so really you're going to have all the nuggets, so you'll be ahead of the game. All right. Yep. And hello, Arizona Real Estate. Yes. Thank you for all your great help and content. Thank you for the last minute comments, the questions, everything else. And we will see you tomorrow. Don't forget to join us on our blockchain. Look up Consortia blockchain for real estate on YouTube as well. We're starting to work with that team to help them out, to help educate real estate agents on blockchain and real estate. We are moving in that direction, and the industry is going that way. So you don't want to be the one in a year or two that says, okay, what's this blockchain thing? You want to start your educational process now, because it's just going to be easier to eat this elephant one bite at a time. So something to keep in mind. So join us tomorrow on that. That's also in our Facebook group, that event. So, this is coming again, that light in the corner. Yeah, Amazon. I'm pretty sure. It was definitely Amazon. I buy everything on Amazon. So just search LED lights. I don't know. But there you go. Okay. I think that's it for us. So we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.